Reaper 7.10 is out, and the first thing I read in here is redesign. And that is very, very interesting. I'm very excited to see what this new envelope window is going to be about. So apparently they redesigned the whole envelope window, which is awful. I want to show you how it looks because it's been one of the ugliest thing that Reaper has. So when you start Reaper and you load a plugin, let's say you want to automate this plugin, they tell you, hey, just go and click this automation button, the envelope button, and you see this. This is what you see. This is the first time a new user sees this, just scares them away. Like,
all right, so let's hop into this automation. Whoa!
What the hell is this? It's
front
so
door
much.
am I looking at?
So overwhelming.
Sorry.
To see. But I mean, the experience is not that bad. You can filter and find whatever you're looking for. You can also show the last touch effects, and you can even collapse so it doesn't look as overwhelming. And all of these options in here. The thing is, it's just so much information. It's just very, very difficult to navigate. And this scrolling thing like this, it's just nightmare. So now in Reaper 7.10, they redesigned this window and it looks like this. Let's load the same plugin and load the automation envelope window in here, and it's just much, much better. The list view makes so much sense for this. I can't believe I never thought of this, but it just makes so much sense. It looks way cleaner this way. So this is what you get instead of whatever this is. Yes, definitely a big improvement, and I very much love that. I'm gonna place a screenshot in here of the previous version so we can see the before and after. So this is the before, and this is the after. Just much better. And what I love the most is that they got rid of all these checkboxes that just made it look so jarring. And it's just a list view with, you can just click the dot to enable anything that you want. It's very similar to the track manager. The track manager is exactly like that. You can click to show and hide things from here. There's also a filter and all of that. So all of the functionality that made this great is still here, just presented in a much more elegant way. So in this window, we can just simply click the parameter that we want. We can start doing our automation, stuff like that. We can choose to hide it, or even just make it inactive, or even arm it, all of the three. And let's say that you have a bunch of automations. This is where this thing really comes into play. When you have a bunch of them, and then it just gets really difficult to manage. So let's say we have a bunch of track automations and also some plugin automations in here. And this is where it gets a little tricky to manage and to see what's going on. But with this, it's much simpler. You can simply select in here and just choose to see your active envelopes. So it's only gonna show you the active ones, and you can choose to make some visible or not. If it's a plugin parameter, you can click here to learn MIDI, or if you want to modulate it, you can open the parameter modulation window for each of the parameters in here. Another really handy thing is that you can click in here to show it in the TCP or the MCP. So you're able to adjust the parameter right from your TCP track or your mixer. And at the top, you'll have buttons to show all of the active envelopes and hide them all. And even you can do arm all of the visible envelopes or disarm them. Now, I want to mention that you were able to do all of this in this, but it was just a much worse visual experience. Now, a new thing is that you can set a default of how you want to see this when you open it. So by default, it's going to show all of the fetch parameter expanded, so you get this super large list, but I much prefer to set it to all of the fetch parameters collapse. This way, when I open this window, all of the fetch are going to be collapsed, so it's just easier to find whatever I need. So I can just click in here to expand it and search for my thing. Now, if you're someone that uses envelopes a lot, there's an even more advanced way to use this, and it's with an envelope manager window. And you can find it in the actions menu. And I recommend setting a shortcut or a toolbar to it. When you open the envelope manager window, you'll get a window that is very similar to what we just saw, but it just has a few more options. And what I like about this is that it has a content spots where you can choose to do selected tracks or selected item tags. So if you have selected tracks, It's gonna basically mirror whatever you have selected. And if you have selected item tags, it's gonna show you the envelopes of the item you have selected. And yes, you can have envelopes on items and even effects on items. For example, I can just click and drag these effects into this item, and now that item has a Progy in there, and I can even automate all of these parameters in there. So if you want to look into item automation and all of that, that is really powerful feature in Reaper. So yeah, that's a pretty cool feature that you now have this envelope manager and you can make it so it just mirrors the track. And what makes it really cool is that you can, of course, dock this and make it part of your layout. So you can choose it to put it over here or over here. I found that it works really well if you have the midstep view. I like to have the FETS browser in there. And let's say we can put the envelope manager right over here and it would fit really well. Now, I don't use envelopes that much. I don't see myself using this much, but I know some people are crazy electronic producers about envelopes, so that is really handy for them. And lastly, when you right click on here, you have a few more options like expand all of the FETS parameters or just collapse them all. There's also target envelope manager when clicking track tag envelope. I honestly have no idea what this is. I tried to enable it, but I couldn't figure out what this is. If you know, please comment down below. I very much like that you can also set a default filter to the current filter. So you can pretty much have, let's say you only want to see your active envelopes. When you click on that button, you can set it to as a default. So that's also very handy. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep exploring this and keep you updated if I find more cool stuff about this update. I haven't read the rest of the update, so yeah, I'll be doing that later. So yeah, thank you for watching. That was a quick video just to show you that thing. Hope you're well, and thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.